following the coolant leak incident of the Soyuz spacecraft last Wednesday. In this follow-up video, we are finding out if it is safe for the Soyuz MS-22 spacecraft to return to Earth. If not, when can a Soyuz MS-23 replacement be flown up? What do the 3 crew members who are scheduled to fly home on MS-22 do in the event of an emergency? Watch this video till the end to find out. First off, the 7 astronauts on the space station are not in immediate danger, but this is one of the most serious accidents in the history of the orbiting laboratory, which has been staffed for nearly 25 years. Since the incident, NASA has not held any briefings and has just sent a sparse update to its blog. However, there are many things going on in the background. This video will make an effort to outline what is known and what is not known at this time. The exterior cooling loop was leaking, and Roscosmos was never able to stop it. The leak finally ended when there was no more coolant to leak out. In the moments that followed, Russian flight controllers made an effort to view the aft end of the Soyuz, where the leak happened, using the European robotic arm, which was connected to the Russian part of the station. This 11-meter arm did not yield reliable information though. To obtain a better view at the Soyuz spacecraft, NASA will employ the 17.6-meter-long Canadarm2, also known as the Space Station Remote Manipulator System. It is intended that this visual examination, which is more likely to occur over the weekend, would offer more concrete details on the origin, cause, and whether additional components of the Soyuz spacecraft were harmed because of the leak. NASA will postpone an astronaut spacewalk that was scheduled for Monday by Frank Rubio and Josh Cassada in order to facilitate this task. Roscosmos also performed diagnostic tests on the Soyuz MS-22 spacecraft early on Friday morning to look for any problems with its propulsion system. Sources claim that this test was nominal. The Soyuz spacecraft's overheating flight computers are the biggest worry though. In order to make sure the Soyuz lands in a certain location in Kazakhstan close to recovery personnel, they are used to compute the Soyuz's precise entry. The process would have to be carried out manually if not for the flight computers. Although this is conceivable, it is not ideal because the Soyuz may land in a very large area. The flight computer warmed up during Monday's morning thruster test, but it did not reach temperature limitations, a source said. Roscosmos denied a hypothetical claim that the Soyuz MS-22 spacecraft's interior temperature hit 50 degrees Celsius. The claim was made in the Russian press. The Soyuz MS-22 spacecraft's exterior cooling loop is currently dysfunctional. This effectively means that a separate cooling loop that maintains the Soyuz's interior at a comfortable temperature for the avionics and the passengers can no longer easily discharge heat into space. It is challenging to cool these flight computers using the ambient atmosphere of the space station with the hatch open because they are inserted fairly deeply into the interior of the spacecraft. The space station is currently in high beta, which means it will receive full solar light for the duration of its orbit. This could eventually lead to an overheating of the flight computers. The crew of the Soyuz MS-22, which includes NASA's Frank Rubio and the cosmonauts Sergei Prokopyev and Dmitry Petelin, is taking an early departure into consideration because of this. If the flight controllers determine that there is a chance that the flight computers or other delicate avionics will be harmed before the spacecraft's anticipated return in March 2023, they could leave the station as soon as this month. Whether other Soyuz components were harmed is another important concern. Micrometeoroid debris could have done more harm if it had hit the cooling system, which seems to be the most likely scenario. This is one another justification for how crucial this weekend's thorough visual inspection of the Soyuz is. In the end, nothing has been decided on what will happen to the Soyuz MS-22. The visual assessment will yield important information that will help guide flight controllers in Russia and the US as they decide what to do next. If everything goes according to plan and the temperature of the flight computer stays constant, the spacecraft might not return until March. If there are worries about the flight computers overheating, it might also return sooner. Finally, Russia will need to hurry up the launch of the following Soyuz spacecraft in line, MS-23, and fly it independently to the space station if the Soyuz suffers additional significant damage while in orbit. Until then, the crew may be in danger without a lifeboat if Prokopyev, Petelin, or Rubio had a medical emergency or if there was a problem with the station. By the start of next week, some of these questions might have some answers. Thank you so much for watching the video. Don't miss out on our latest uploads. If you wish to stay up to date with the latest space updates and discoveries, hit the subscribe button, like the video, and turn on all notifications to see more of our latest videos in the future.